going to be a little bit different depending on the set, so I can't really give you 100% on the gearing. The particular set that I've shared so far, I'm going down into fourth, very little braking, if any, and I'm trying to aim for this inside curving with the right front and stay hooked in there so that I can stay full throttle all the way through the turn. Otherwise, if I get a real good drive onto that front straight, I can do it in fifth and not lose any time. This is a blind apex turn-in, and basically before you get to the blue shed, there's a little dent on the white line where my right front tire is. Okay, that sounds good, Dave. Right front tire touching the white line, and then basically I'm trying to aim for this inside white line right here where that little notch is. If I can get my left front and touching that white line, I can stay flat out in fifth all the way through here. On the outlap, it's going to be tough because you're just going to get too much slide. So give your car a chance to warm up on this track, especially an outlap, and maybe even one more. This is the other trickiest turn. This is probably the hardest one to carry speed through, but just a dab of brake right about here. I try to brake a little bit earlier and a little bit less so that I can carry more speed in there. If I try to late brake and I scrub too much speed, it's all about recovery then. I've lost too much time. So into fourth until I start my turn in, then down into third. I give it a little bit of a lift to rotate, and I'm aiming to kind of slice this inside curb at the end here with that right front so that I can be back on throttle before I've left that curving. For me, it's in third. Fourth gear might work if you have a shorter setup also. I just use third to help it to rotate. As you're clearing this crest, you want to keep this left front. I stay nice and tight on this white line, and then just as the black tarmac starts a little bit, when this levels out, start your braking. Pretty firm, hard braking, down into third, lift so that you can rotate it and aim right over this inside curb so that you touch that white line, not necessarily touching the curb. And then down, I go down into second. Some people stay in third, that works too. Another lift and try to be on throttle while the car is still on a downslope here. That's your goal. If you're throwing it so hot that you aren't getting on throttle until you're on the curb that's ahead of me on the far left side, then you've gone in too hot and you're going to lose the drive on this big back straight. So try to sacrifice a little bit of speed coming in so that you can get an earlier track out, as this is the longest straight. And again, I'm tracking out in second and just trying to keep a nice smooth motion up through this straight, trying not to touch any rumble curves or anything that's going to take any speed away. I don't know if it's in my head, but it feels like on the right it's a little faster, but probably isn't. And just about this mark over in here, start a big wide arc, no braking, just let the turn scrub speed off, down into fourth, and then just into here. I'm not really using any brake here, but I'm getting down to third and just trying to touch this inside line. This is a real hairy section, especially if you're on a hot lap, because you can just throw it in there too hot and get squirrely to make this last turn. So just be careful about dumping a little bit of speed. Be smooth as you possibly can. My goal is to get out here wide, all the way wide, and in third gear, with the other set I used to track out in third here, but for here I could go in second gear and just get a drive before I leave this inside curving. This is a critical turn to get another drive again because it's a real fast, long section. So, hairy section, but good luck with that. Go around again, just kind of point out the mark. Just before this blind crest is where I'm turning in, high speed, fourth gear. In my set fifth, when I hit that exit right, once my fuel gets lighter, and then just before this curve, I'm starting my turn over and just trying to stay as close as I can, and that'll give me enough room to exit that corner. Little lift, get it to rotate, and I'm back on throttle. You can use all of that curving on the outside just before the bridge starts turning. Stay in here nice and tight so you give yourself plenty of angle. Down into third, just kind of throw it over the crest. Down into second, and again, try to be on throttle on that downslope, and you'll get a good drive up here. If someone throws it in there too hot, you'll start catching up to them halfway up the straight. Again, this setup is really kind of squirrely so far, so maybe it's just me. Need more coffee. Just a gentle bend, no brake. Maybe a little dab of brake here, but just be precise on where you're putting your tires. Make it a real smooth, flowing progression through here, all the way down to second gear, and then hard on the throttle onto the front straight.